What's up, y'all? It's Tuba Tourette's, and today we're going to be reading out of Revelations 2. Last time I read Revelations 1, and my derealization is not great today, so I'm going to try my best. Last time we talked about the greetings to the seven churches and how he, how John had seen a vision with 7 golden lampstands and Jesus with stars in his hand, 7 stars, two-edged sword. It said his face was like the sun shining in full strength. And then he writes to Ephesus. He says, "To the angel of the church in Ephesus write the words of him who holds the 7 stars in his right hand, who walks among the 7 golden lampstands. I know your works, your toil and your patient endurance, and how you cannot bear with those who are evil, but have tested those who call themselves apostles and are not, and found them to be false. I know you are enduring patiently and bearing up for my name's sake, and you have not grown weary. But I have this against you, that you have abandoned the love you had at first. Remember, therefore, from where you have fallen, repent and do the works you did at first. If not, I will come to you and remove your lampstand from its place, unless you repent. Yet this you have, you hate the works of the Nicolaitans, which I also hate. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. To the one who conquers, I will grant to eat of the tree of life, which is in the paradise of God." And just like I said before, he's saying, he's writing to these churches only things that they could understand. So he said, like at the beginning of when he's writing to Ephesus, he says, "The words of him who holds the 7 stars in his right hand and who walks among the 7 golden lampstands." So only they would understand that. And to the church of Smyrna, he says, "And the angel of the church of Smyrna write, the words of the first and the last who got eliminated and came to life. I know your tribulation and your poverty, but you are rich, and the slander of those who say that they are Jews and are not, but are a synagogue of Satan." I've heard that a lot. That's a very big thing, where he was saying, you say you're Jews, but you're not, but are a synagogue of Satan. He said, "Behold, the devil is about to throw some of you into prison," the Christians, "that you may be tested, and for 10 days you will have tribulation. Be faithful unto elimination, and I will give you the crown of life. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches." Wow. "The one who conquers will not be attacked by the second elimination." To the church in Pergamum, and to the angel of the church in Pergamum write the words of him who has the sharp two-edged sword. I know where you dwell, where Satan's throne is, yet you hold fast to my name, and you did not deny my faith, even in the days of Antipas, my faithful witness, who was eliminated among you. He was martyred where Satan dwells. But I have a few things against you. You have some there who hold the teaching of Balaam, who taught Balak to put a stumbling block before the sons of Israel, so that they might eat food sacrificed to idols and practice sexual immorality. So also you have some who hold the teaching of the Nicolaitans. Therefore repent, if not I will come to you soon and war against them with the sword of my mouth, a double-edged sword. And that's the thing he wrote to. And back at the beginning of that statement, he said, "To the angel of the church of Pergamum write the words of him who has a sharp two-edged sword." That's wild. So he who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. To the one who conquers, I will give some of the hidden manna, and I will give him a white stone with a new name written on the stone that no one knows except the one who receives it. And to the angel of the church in Thyatira write the words of the Son of God, who has eyes like a flame of fire, and whose feet are like burnished bronze. I know your works, your love, and your faith, and service and patient endurance, and that your later works exceed the first. But I have this against you, that you tolerate the woman Jezebel, who calls herself a prophetess, and is teaching and seducing my servants to practice sexual immorality and to eat food sacrificed by idols. I gave her time to repent, but she refused to repent of her sexual immorality. Behold, I will throw her onto a sick bed, and those who commit adultery with her I will throw into great tribulation, unless they repent of her works. And it's just so amazing how he gives us the chance to repent. He gives us that chance. Even the people that are doing awful things. We've all done awful things. And all the churches will know that I am he who searches mind and heart, and I will give to each of you according to your works. But to the rest of you in Thyatira, who do not hold this teaching, who have not learned what some call the deep things of Satan, to you I say, I do not lay on you any other burden. Only hold fast. Wait, I forgot to read this part. Unless they repent of her works, I will strike their children gone. And I'm going to reread this. And all the churches will know that I am he who searches the mind and heart. And I will give to each of you according to your works. But to the rest of you in Thyatira who do not hold this teaching, who have not learned what some call the deep things of Satan, to you I say, I do not lay on you any other burden. Only hold fast what you have until I come. The one who conquers and who keeps my works until the end, to him I will give authority over the nations, and he will rule them with a rod of iron. As when earthen pots are broken into pieces, even as I myself have received authority from my Father, and I will give him the morning star. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. Man. So, he's basically telling John to write to these churches and talk about the vision that he had, and tell them to repent. It's amazing that he gives us second chances like that. And the next chapter is about it's to a few more churches, and then there's the throne in heaven, and that's more of the vision, which is even cooler in my opinion. Very, very powerful. There's a lot of powerful visions that John has, and God still gives people these visions and dreams today. Yeah. Sorry if I haven't been feeling like myself in this video. I just not feeling great right now, but came out here to try and help myself a little bit, speak with God. But yeah, I'll try and read chapter 3 another day. I'll see you guys in another video. God bless.